Hello, fourth graders. I hope you're doing well. Miss you. Welcome to my home. I've never taught a math lesson from my house before, so this is all super new. Say hello to Bochi. Bochi's gonna be in and out probably. This is one of his favorite spots to hang out, is on the top of this couch over here. Keeps an eye on what's happening in the kitchen and the living room, making sure no one's leaving the house. He's our patrol officer. So we're all gonna hunker down and do some work today. Today we're gonna do a little review of multi-digit multiplication. So hopefully you have a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, and ready or not, here we go. The beauty of the video is that you can pause it at any time so that you can get something you need or take a little break or get caught up. Sometimes I'm going to tell you to pause it, and I'm going to expect that you actually do pause it to get some work done, and then I'll have you unpause it when you're done with the work, and then we'll continue the lesson. So, ready or not, let's go. My boys are also in the house. They might participate a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for a 2-digit number.
74.
Whoa, 74. So go ahead and write 74 on your piece of paper. And I need another one.
12.
12. Okay. 74 times 12. So the way we're going to review double-digit multiplication today is using the box method. So if you have a different way that you prefer, you can do that, but I'm going to review the box method here. So what we do is we draw a box. We divide it in half. Right, Bochi? Right? Then we're going to divide it into fourths. Yes. Now we're going to break apart 74. How do you break apart 74, friends?
74.
Okay. Is going to go up here, and 4 is going to go here. All right, Dean, if you could give some thinking time, I'm going to let Calvin break up 12.
10 and 2?
10 and 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's enough thinking. What we're going to do in this box here is we're going to multiply these two numbers, 10 and 70. So I'm going to write 10 times 70, but I'm not going to write the answer so that you'll have some work to do. Over here, I'm going to multiply these two numbers, 10 times 4. Then we go down to this box where you take this number and multiply it by the top number, 2 times 70. And then the final box is 2 times 4, and you put the number in there. So, what you're going to do now is you're going to press pause on this video, and you are going to fill in the answers to each of these boxes. And then you're going to add those numbers all together, and that should give us the answer to 74 times 12. So go ahead and pause it now. Pause. Did you pause it? I hope you paused it. Did you pause? I think they did. Okay. So if you are finished with this work, that means you paused it and you did the work. So thank you very much. If you did not pause it and do the work, now's your last chance. Pause. Okay, moving on. 10 times 70. Can you do that for me, friends?
700?
Yes, 700. You do 1 times 7 is 7, and then there's 2 zeros. How about 10 times 4?
40.
2 times 70.
140.
And 2 times 4.
8.
Oh my golly.
Wow.
We've all lost our marbles a little bit around here. So now we're going to add 700 plus 140 plus 40 plus 8. So, over here, I'm going to write it out, even though I know so many of you can do this work in your head because you are mathematicians. So if I do the traditional addition way, which you might have done, might not have done, the number in the ones column should be an 8. The number in the tens column should also be an 8. And the number in the hundreds column, whoa, what are the chances? 888. So that is our review on double-digit multiplication, which is going to lead us into area practice. So, all right, welcome back. Here we are going to be discussing area, and we've talked a bit about area and how the area is the surface that something takes up. So we're measuring that in square units of whatever the unit it is. So if we're talking about inches, we say square inches. If we're talking about feet, we say square feet. If we're talking about miles, you guessed it, square miles. So today what we're going to do is taking an inch. And if I was at school, I would have those little colored square tiles that I bet you can imagine in your brain what that looks like. It's 1 square inch colored tile. And you can go ahead and draw a square. It doesn't have to be a perfect 1 inch by 1 inch. But we know that this side is 1 inch and this side is 1 inch. So we are calling this 1 square inch. 1, and you could say inch with a little 2 above it. Can you see that? You probably can't see that. 1 inch squared. Okay, now if I had 12 of these little squares, picture those, 12 of them all the way lined up like this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 inches across here. And then if I put another 12 going down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I would have a 12 by 12 inch square of tiles, a 12 by 12, we would call that. And so if we were doing our multi-digit multiplication, or if you know your 12s already, or you have some other strategy for finding 12 times 12, I'll give you a minute to think about that, 12 by 12. You can pause it if you want to do that work. If you were to multiply 12 times 12, you would get the square area of this shape. If I was doing this perfectly in perfect inches, which I'm not, we have to imagine. So, are you back? Do we get what 12 times 12 is? Boom, 144. Well done. So this way this would be written is 144 inches squared. Does that make sense? If not, email me and I will clarify for you that what we have here is a 144 inch squared shape. Now, I'm going to also say that this could be 1 square inch, and this could be 1 squared, sorry my handwriting's so bad, 1 square, 12 inches converted into feet. How many inches are in 1 foot? 12. So this is a 12 by 12. So this is 1 square foot, we're going to call this. Is this making sense, Calvin?
Yes, but I would much appreciate if your handwriting was better.
Sorry about that. Okay, so 1 square inch, 1 square foot. If we were measuring in miles, we would also then change it to miles. No, thank you, with the voices from the peanut gallery. Okay, here we go. So when you are finding the area, we're going to write this down. Area. You take the dimensions of something, so the measurements, you're measuring whatever it is that you want the surface of to be, and you're going to be multiplying length times width. And another way to write that would be A equals LW. You don't need to put anything in between there. You just can put the L and the W right together and someone will know that that means length times width. Hopefully you'll know that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take something in our house that we can use to measure things with. So I happen to have a tape measure. You might have one too. You might have a ruler. You might have one of those tape measures that comes in like a sewing kit that is really soft. It can wrap around things. Either way, as long as it gives you the measurements in inches, that's what we're going to be using today. Or I guess you don't have to use inches if you I don't know why you wouldn't have one with inches, but you might not. Either way, email me if you don't have anything to measure with, and we will make sure that you get something going. So when we measure an object, we're going to make a straight line across. We're not going to zigzag. It's going to be perfectly lined up from one end to the other as straight as I can. And it happens to fall perfectly on the 9, which if it didn't fall perfectly on the 9, that would be okay. I would pretend it was a 9 for the purpose of this activity today. We're just going to round to the nearest inch. So it happens to fit perfectly that it's 9 inches wide. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side, starting at the top, coming down, and it's showing me that it's a little more. It's about half more. It's about 12 and a half. So we can go 12, 13. Geez, it really is. Well, maybe what it's trying to show me, see this dotted line up here, is that that's how big the paper would be when I cut it out. So I'm going to smudge it a little. I'm going to start it where that dotted line is and come down. Oh, there it is, 12. That is what it's talking about. So this here is a 9 by 12 cover for this drawing paper. So to find the area of this, I would multiply those two numbers together, 9 times 12. And I know we have so many strategies, especially when it's single digit times double digit, that we can use. We could go 9 times 10 plus 9 times 2. Or you could do 10 times 12 and then take away a 12. So whatever strategy you have, or maybe you just know your 12s. I don't. If I go 9 times 10, thank you, 90. And then 9 times 2 is 18. And I'm going to add those together for 108. So 9 times 12 is 108. What we want to do is make sure we label this in the correct units. So they were inches. And we say inches squared because it is the area of the dimension. So what your job to do today, hopefully you have something to measure with, otherwise we're going to have to make some sort of accommodations. In your math workbook that you brought home, not the home connections, in the workbook on page 193, there is a list of things for you to measure. These are things that they would assume you would see in a classroom. So if there are things on here, which I know there are, that you would not have in your home, the calendar grid pocket chart, absolutely not. What you're going to do is you're going to cross that out and you're going to put something that you can find in your house that you are going to measure the surface area of. So just like the top of a bookshelf or the top of a board game. Don't try to get into the rest of it, like how, this part here, right here. Just gonna do surface area today. Okay, so that's your assignment today. And I'm gonna put some other pages that I'm gonna post that you're also going to complete today. And please email me if you have any questions at all. And Bochi got this fancy gold necklace put on him that I think it's time for us to take off, don't you think? I don't know, maybe he likes it. All right, well, that was fun. I wish I could see your faces too. We're gonna try something soon where we practice doing a Google Meet where we can all interact with each other. But for today, that's my math lesson. So email me with questions and I will see you soon, I hope. Okay, bye.